how do you want generations coming up to help support your new platform?
Communication, conversation, education, and motivation.
Gotcha.
Those four things are literally the key to life.
Mm-hmm.
Because, Mr. Mitchell, violence don't solve anything. All violence does is create more havoc.
Thank you for tuning in to tonight's special episode of the Median Society. Tonight's guest is George Floyd's uncle, Mr. Selwyn Jones. He's had a very interesting set of weeks, particularly this week, where he actually found out that the convicted felon now, Mr. Chauvin, will be in for about 22 and a half years. Thank you so much, Mr. Selwyn, coming by, and we look forward to having a really good interview with you today. Thank you. So let's get started. Can you tell our audience, who is Selwyn Jones?
Selwyn Jones is a funny-looking black guy from rural North Carolina with freckles. That's what Selwyn Jones is. Selwyn Jones is a good-hearted, good-souled individual that saw one of his favorite people suffer for 9 minutes and 29 seconds before the Lord let him come home. And Selwyn Jones is a proud black man. Selwyn Jones is a proud human being. Selwyn Jones wants to change the way that we look at things, because I think I have the right, because my nephew gave his life for us to have the biggest civil rights, the biggest anything that's ever happened that we know in the world. So we got to jumpstart. Now we just need to keep the car running. We need to keep the car going. Communication, conversation, motivation, and education is what we're gonna put into play. And like I said, just old country boy that grew up in a house with no running water, no indoor plumbing, pooping in a bucket, and throwing it in the backyard. And when it got warm, you covered it up. And my mom always told me that I could be anything I wanted to be. All I had to do was put forth the effort, make good decisions, and life would be what you wanted it to be. And Lord have mercy, son. I done came all the way around the world, South Dakota, man. Oh, wait. You might not have seen this shit. I always like to get this out of the way early. Ah, look at that.
All right.
Don't we look like twins? Hold on, wait. I got a twin in here somewhere. Hold on. Oh, my Lordy. Woo, don't we look like twins?
There you go.
That's my twin brother. That's twin brother. That's Unc. But you know, man, I'm happy. Okay. I'm happy. I'm motivated. I'm determined. And what I am motivated and determined about is to change the way that people treat our race. Mm-hmm. 12%.
Gotcha.
You know, man, because we've been punching bags our whole life. Our whole
long time.
We've been punching bags.
Yes.
And guess what? My nephew, George Floyd, the way that he left this world, everybody, there's two types of people. The people that can't read and the people that don't want to read.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are reading now, buddy. A lot of people are reading. And they're realizing, hey, man, you know what? We might have did something. We might have been doing things and disrespecting because of no reason whatsoever. Okay. So, man, you know, I tell everybody, I am not mad at anybody.
Gotcha.
I am, if you could relate to this, out of all the people in the world, that 350 million to one chance
mm-hmm.
of me having an opportunity to be in this position, I'll take it. Because my nephew did something that hasn't been done in our whole entire life. The last person we had pushing and striving for us was Mr. King. That's been like 55 years ago.
That's true.
Guess what? Can I introduce you to Selwyn Jones?
Okay.
Because we ain't going to stop, man. Wherever we got to go, whatever we got to do, wherever we got to be, that's what we have to do. Because one day, that old country boy that grew up and they were calling him all those bad names and treating him like nothing, I want to hear, Anthony, you're a handsome young man.
Mm-hmm.
Not Anthony. Wow, look at that black man.
Yeah.
You know, because we come to this big place for just a short period of time, my brother.
Yes, we
So
do.
why can't we enjoy and care about each other? Because my man, we need to we need to fix a lot of things in this world,
Hmm.
but slowly but surely. Hey man, you know what? Somebody asked me about the George Floyd Policing Act. So when do you think it's gonna be passed?
Yeah.
And I start laughing. I was like, you know what, man? If it's passed next month or 2 years from now, guess what? We've been waiting for 400 years. You know what I'm saying?
Good
So,
point.
you know, man, anything is a good thing. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? And to conclude who Selwyn is, Selwyn's a sad uncle.
Okay.
Selwyn's a sad dad. Selwyn's a sad brother. Selwyn's a sad friend. And I reckon I got an opportunity to change all of those narratives by communicating with people like yourself
Hmm.
that feel the same way, to give an opportunity for everybody to see this
Yes.
glowing outrageously.
Awesome.
Dad, go look at my head. I got a big head. Anyhow, you know, man, life is crazy. Let me tell you this. I practice what I preach.
Hmm.
I live in a little place that everybody loves me. Have you seen that?
Yep.
Everybody loves me. Have you seen that?
I've seen that.
Have you read it? You seen that?
Yes.
And you know what, Anthony? None of that bothers me because I know that these fine people that live in my town that think I am absolutely nothing because somebody murdered my nephew,
Hmm.
they're missing out on a lot of stuff. Uh, they're missing out on things that it don't matter. It hasn't mattered to a lot of people.
Hmm.
And when when you're in a little place like this, uh, it's their world in their box.
Yep.
And you know what? I say what I say. I do what I do, and they can have their little world.
Gotcha.
And people ask me all the time, man, when you leaving? Anthony, I worked my whole life. I used to watch my mama take me through rich folks' neighborhood, and I used to see her cry, tears come down her eyes. I didn't realize what she was doing
Mm.
till about a year ago, and I
Yeah.
realized she was taking us through there, and those tears was coming down her eyes because she was showing us what we could have if we put forth the effort.
Hmm.
Because she didn't have it, she never would have it.
Gotcha.
So I reckon what I'm telling you, my man, is I got a little piece of Americana,
Gotcha.
and they can do whatever they want to do. They can say whatever they want to say. Uh, we're okay because I don't want to deal with
Yep.
people that don't want to deal with me. If you want to communicate with Unc, if you want to talk to Unc about racial diversity and how we're going to change things and what the outlook looks, hey, I'm here for you.
Yep.
But if you're going to talk about the crazy stuff, we have no time for that, man.
Exactly. So
We've done enough crazy. We've lived in enough crazy. We don't want to be normal, Anthony, because normal is us putting ourselves in a situation where we can't win.
hmm hmm Okay, let me ask you a question. What is the statement, "I did not choose to be in the spotlight. The moment thrust me into the spotlight," means to you?
It means that you have to stand up, man up, and I'm not I'm not that that word person that's gonna throw a lot of crazy stuff at you that I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much what that means to me is I woke up at 7:30 like I always do, Anthony. I literally have slept probably about 3.5 to 5 hours for the last year
Hmm.
until my birthday. I was supposed to go several places. I stayed and I slept.
Mm.
And pretty much what that means to me is I wake up every morning and I'm a little husky if you can't tell. You know what I'm saying? I think I look good though. But I wake up and I eat me 2 croissants every day. I know I didn't say croissants right, but that's my name for them, croissants.
Hey.
And I eat them every day. I get my babies dressed. I'm an old dad. I got a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old. Don't tell me I'm crazy because I know I am. And I get up and every time I see something happen to a brother, I live in South Dakota. My wife tries to protect me from things because they ain't no black people here. We got like 3% of the population.
Hmm.
But I've been able to survive And I'll get into that here in a little bit later and tell you how I did that. And I'm looking at this black dude getting pummeled, getting just totally disrespected, humiliated. It reminded you of that big boy in New York
Mm-hmm.
when you seen all of them jump on him.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate that. And I'm thinking, daggone, man, won't somebody help him? Why don't they stop? At 7:33, my whole life went to a different direction.
Mm-hmm.
My sister called me. I set my phone down. I sat back in my chair. I did not say anything, and I just watched. And what I watched was somebody that didn't have one chance in the world. When you focused your eyes on that video, you knew that he had no chance to leave. The only way he was going to leave is if he was dead.
Mm-hmm.
The first time you laid your eyes on that video, you knew he was going to die.
Yeah.
So pretty much what happened is me and the whole world waited to see my nephew die so all the other things could start.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't want this. Lord have mercy, I would prefer to have my nephew. But my friend, I am the biggest, loudest mouth, not scared, not ashamed person I've ever known. If you say something to me that I don't care about, I can't walk around for days because you spend more energy thinking about what you should have said if you don't went ahead and said it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want this. Do you think I wanted to be? I was free, Anthony. Got my motel. I could sit at the corner, watch people come in, fish, hunt, just sit here and watch my baby. Bought him a go-kart. You know, my wife telling me he's going to kill himself. I'm laughing, no helmet, and just living it. And you go from being free to somebody going in a council meeting because of a Confederate flag
Mm-hmm.
on my police uniform patch. And he stands in a council meeting and says, why would we change anything in our community because a dead uncle lives in our town?
Wow. Wow.
Anthony, this is a dude that lives 4 houses down from me.
Mm.
4 houses down, my brother. Been knowing this dude forever, man. So I was fine. I was happy being me. But you know what, man? Sometimes duty calls, my friend. And I cannot let my nephew down. I cannot let your nephew down. I cannot let you down. I cannot let nobody that has a tan down because we got to go to work.
Yeah.
And I've been working for the last year, and I'm finna, COVID's gone. So, you know, I got my hard hat on,
Mm-hmm.
put the yellow cones around, because everybody knows this is a construction site and I'm working hard.
Mm-hmm.
But I always have to do this, my brother. I always have to remind myself what hatred looks like.
Mm-hmm.
This is what hatred looks like, Anthony.
Wow.
That is what hatred looks like.
Yeah.
That's what hatred looks like. So when people ask me, what do you do next? Free your heart. Free your heart. Let's go for the ride. Let's go for the ride. This is a journey.
So let me ask you this. How do
Yes,
you keep the hate from building up in the midst of all this when you have, you know, you're fighting the good fight, but how do you take time and keep the hate when you know these people are around you that, I mean, like 4 doors down, that are acting this way towards you and other blacks?
Anthony, I've got a lot, and I've got this dude that lives next door to my lot. He'll stand on his property and say funny things, crazy stuff to me. The N-word and your this and your that. And I had my boy go cut grass for me instead of me going to go cut grass because I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
Well, I went over there last Sunday after I got back from Arkansas. I seen a lot of sisters and brothers there, boy. So I was, woo-wee. I had my jig going still, feeling that black power, man.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing anybody wanted to do was test the waters. I go over there and he's sitting in his chair. He gets up and comes and stands and starts talking smack to me. I start laughing at him, Anthony. I'm saying, and I said, man, the day is not the day, partner. You picked the best.
I think we lost you.
Can you hear me?
There you go. Yep.
And I chased him in the house.
Okay.
I chased him in the house. He got to go. I was like, give me that taser. The day. He called the police. The police comes there. And I called her 5 months ago about a dude that put snow beside my building. When do you think I seen her?
That same day he called.
I ain't seen her. Hold on, I got a volume problem. I haven't seen her. I didn't see her. So they're out there talking, and I walk over there. I go like, man, listen, I called you 5 months ago, and I didn't see you. And this boy calls you because I'm cutting my grass, and in 5 minutes you're here.
Wow.
We got to talk about, babe. So man, I got so many other things in my life going that hate or any of that stuff, Anthony, don't belong. It's not allowed in my life.
Okay.
I've got so many things that I got to look forward to. I'm moving up like George and Weezy. I'm going to the penthouse. What I'm doing, my friend, is I want everybody to know that we have a great world, and everybody's not bad.
This is true.
But those that are, why waste your time?
Yep.
Can you
Okay,
see me?
let me ask you this. So,
Yes, sir.
as you've become one of the spokespersons in your family, and all of you have become actually major spokespersons for Black America, I would think. How are you guys divvying it out, and how does each person know their role in what they're doing? Or are you guys just going on individual paths with the same structure of Black rights?
We're all starting at the same house,
Okay.
and we all want to meet at the same place.
Gotcha.
We unfortunately we don't have as much communication as we should.
Okay.
And if everybody's noticed, there's a solo artist that is making big strides.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's got their little clique and their little pack. Yeah, a lot of people talk about what's good for Black lives. Anthony, I do believe in Black Lives Matter because all lives matter.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in white lives because their lives matter. I believe in all lives because all lives matter.
Yes.
We just got to fix some things that were pointed towards us.
Mm-hmm.
And with me, Anthony, I got out of all the little rhetoric and the talking, and I want to be out here with my feet in the mud and talking to everybody I can talk to.
Okay.
Because we have got to make people see that there's a change going to happen. Got to happen. Because if it doesn't happen, man, think about this, Anthony. We're 12%. If we don't make big strides and change, and we figured that 67% of our Black America, guess what they have? Single parent homes.
Yes.
So that means that takes our 12% down to what? 5.
Yeah.
We can't win like that. We cannot win. So we need to uplift our youth because that's where all of this goes.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the ones that are going to change this narrative because you are a handsome young man, Anthony. I'm a handsome young man. We are going to be dust.
Yeah.
Before we see the effects of what we've done here.
Yes.
But we're starting because I'm digging a hole, son. I'm digging a hole to throw all the bad stuff in. Gotta go.
Yep.
Because there's just no place. Somebody told me they go like, hey, Jonesy, Selwyn, do you ever go walking at night? Heck no, Anthony. Why in the world would I want to do that? I would not go walking ever. So I know, and it's pretty sad because the things that I preach against, I got to live every day.
Yeah.
So could I cry every day, Anthony? Oh, man. Imagine you worked your whole life. I sold vacuum cleaners. I played a little arena football, and then I sold vacuum cleaners for the last 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked the hardest occupation in the world to come up. Iowa, Nebraska, Montana, Wyoming, South Dakota, North Dakota. Anthony, there are probably 2,000 black people in all those states. Yeah.
You know what's interesting? A lot of people, I don't think a lot of the American society realize, and with the sadness of what happened to George, but he comes from a family where people are entrepreneurs like yourself. Mm-hmm. People that are good family structure, a father that's there helping their kids, being there for their children, married. And this is the type of people that he comes from. But society, if you look at it, the first thing they tried to do was try to spin him as he was just this bad guy. Everybody out there on the planet has some type of problem that's going on. But they always try to deliver African Americans in the bad light. And what I want to do even on this show is really to show how, listen, you're the type of bloodline that he comes from, a person that's an entrepreneur, a person that's out there in society trying to do positive things, teaching the next generation, fighting for the next generation. Talk to us about some of the things that you're beginning to do on this new platform that you have.
I want everybody to know. I want all of my sisters and brothers, princesses and princesses, kings and queens, that we are exactly what I just said.
Mm-hmm.
You're a king. Well, I ain't a king. I might be the cook or something because I'm a little chunky today. But our babies have to know that because somebody tell you that you're not special because of your height, your gender, your race, they don't know what's inside your heart. Because let me tell you something, Anthony. I rode the slow bus. They put me in the LD class. When you're at my age, if something was wrong with you, Anthony, if your fingernail broke, you got your butt whooped. If you had a headache, you got your butt whooped and left from your head to your butt. So everything back in my day was get your butt whooped and things changed. Well, when you went to school and you had problems and I stuttered, oh, he's retarded.
Mm.
So I used to be in a situation where when I went to the bathroom, I used to get beat up, head put in the toilet. Mm-hmm. I'm a black dude with freckles in the early 70s. That wasn't going too good. So black folks beat me up, white folks beat me up.
Oh, wow.
And sometimes, man, I would just sit and cry knowing what I got to go through. I learned how to not to use the bathroom when I was in the first grade all day long. Because the less I went in the bathroom, the less I got my butt whooped, the less I got humiliated, the less I had bad feelings towards myself.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem that we have with a lot of our people in this world. Somebody will manipulate them, sadden their souls, sadden their minds, and that carries on through the rest of their life.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got to figure out how we can uplift people and get their heads up out of this saying, man, because we've got to create programs. We've got to create structures in how we can put certain people in situations so we can teach our youth how to be nurses, how to be doctors,
mm-hmm.
how to be lawyers, how to be politicians. Anthony, this is just how it goes, man.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
A lot of our people didn't have the resources to show. I don't know how your family was. I know mine didn't. But she didn't have the resources to show me how to do anything.
Mm.
She showed me how to survive.
Yeah.
We lived off love, brother. We had 15 people in a 3-room house. And you were hoping nobody peed that night. So we lived off love.
Yes.
And hold on for a second, Anthony. Love will keep us together. Man?
Yeah.
So that's what I know. That's what I preach. We have to make ourselves, our people, our men, our women love each other and be accountable for change.
Yes.
Because, brother, let me tell you something. I know that me and you got the 12%.
Mm-hmm.
We got the 12%. We can't do it. We're just 12%. And those people that we see standing in the front of the line, I love that. Black Lives Matter, because all lives matter. I think an 80-year-old from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, has a twin. Because when I was standing on the podium in D.C., I seen an 80-year-old white lady with a sign, Black Lives Matter, all lives matter. That's what they did. So, you know, man, I don't want to be, I'm not doom and gloom, but reality is we've had a heck of a fight, my brother.
Yes.
And people like me and you, we got to put a little bit more emphasis in it because we got that fish nibbling on the hook.
Yeah.
We got the fishes nibbling.
It's right there.
That's true. We just need to make sure we catch them.
Yeah.
And the first thing that we got to catch is we got to catch our youth.
Yeah.
We got to catch people between 30 and below. I think that's my demographics because honestly, if you just got out of college and you just started having babies, we need for you to teach your babies that they're special. Yeah. That black person's special. That person is driving that 1922 Pinto special. Because if everybody was the same, Lord have mercy, we'd be walking around here with a bad looking world, son.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
So let's jump over. Go. Let's jump over to this area. And because we briefly mentioned it earlier, but let's talk about the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. So when President Obama was in office, his big thing at that point was to help women and LGBTQ rights. Then we had President Trump come in. His was the border crisis. Then now we have President Biden, and his seems to be trans and LGBTQ rights and the anti-Asian hate crime bill passage. In all three of those things, it seems like African Americans are just getting passed over in all three presidencies. So what are you hoping to come out of the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act if we don't even get the whole thing passed? What in it are you looking that we should get out?
We've been waiting for that policing act to pass for 400 years.
Yeah.
We need to retrain and put more social workers in the police force. Because why would a police officer with a loaded gun go to a mental health crisis?
Yeah.
Because the guy that's having that PTSD, when they see police, they see that gun, that's an aggressive act.
Yep.
So therefore, not going to work.
Yep.
Not going to work. So we need education, more training. Now, to answer the question that you asked me, Anthony, all I'm hoping is qualified immunity. They can at least do that.
Yeah.
They can at least do that so it slows people down. So people have to think. Now, Anthony, I'm moving back over to the other side. How can we be the 12% that's been having a boot in our butt? Housing, health care, the credit score, systemic racism, schools, everything, Anthony. And something could happen to a certain race, and in 2 weeks, Anthony, we are not assuming to be passed over, my brother. We are getting passed over.
We are getting passed over, yes.
We are getting passed over. It frustrates me just like all the things around me frustrate me. But guess what, Anthony? The things that I could change, that's what I want to change.
Okay.
The things that I can't, we have to move on.
Mm-hmm.
Because, brother, let me tell you something. If you got a flat tire on your car, you got to fix it. Because if not, you're not going anywhere.
This is true.
We've had a flat tire for over 400 years, Mr. Mitchell. And all we're doing is we're hoping and praying that somebody says, hey, here we go. We have negotiated. We're the only people that have had to negotiate our whole life.
Yes.
When we go now, if you're in a certain part of town, a certain part of the country, well, I don't think I'm gonna get any gas here. You know? Or you go to a certain store, I don't think I'm gonna go in there. You know? So we still have these things in our brain, what we can and what we should not do.
Mm-hmm.
So man, oh God, let's hope that our present president do the best job that he can. Let's hope that things that he promised and said to people, he will stand behind and make happen.
So how do you want, when you look overall with your new platform that you've been given, how do you want generations coming up to help support your new platform?
Communication, conversation, education, and motivation.
Gotcha.
Those four things are literally the key to life.
Mm-hmm.
Because, Mr. Mitchell, violence don't solve anything. All violence does is create more havoc.
Mm-hmm.
My brother, we have been ruled by violence.
Mm-hmm.
Our whole existence. So I don't want the normal, Anthony. I don't want the normal.
Yeah.
You know, I want the new. I want the new that I saw when you see 100,000 people, 70,000 of them are Caucasian.
Mm.
George Floyd, no justice, no peace.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to rock like, man.
And that's worldwide
that's how I'm
too.
gonna rock.
Yeah.
Huh?
That's worldwide too.
That's worldwide, brother.
Yeah.
This ain't no mom and pop situation, my brother.
Nope. Yep.
This ain't a mom and pop situation. The most significant thing that's ever happened to this world, and it wasn't in our lifetime, was probably the parting of the Red Sea. We never saw that. I don't know nobody that told me, hey man, that was beautiful.
Yeah. Good point.
But what I know is I've done interviews, I don't know, over 100 countries, all over the world,
Mm-hmm.
because of George Floyd. So everybody was sick and tired of being sick and tired. COVID was horrific. Another situation. We had more black folks die of COVID than anybody. Why? Because of the history of the healthcare.
Yeah.
But without COVID, Anthony Mitchell, me and you ain't having this conversation.
That's true. Yeah.
Without COVID, me and you will not have this conversation because my nephew is just another dead end. He was another dead drug addict end. And everybody in this world has some kind of demons, whether it's food, women, money, cars, drugs, sex. Everybody has these complications in life. And it don't mean you're bad,
Exactly.
And when did being high or getting high was a life sentence, Anthony?
That's a good point.
So what we saw in that 9 minutes and 29 seconds was the most vicious, careless act of humanitarian we ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I say. Several things had to happen on that particular day, Anthony. Darnella Frazier had to take her little cousin to get a pop. Okay, if you are a drink person, it's a drink.
Mm-hmm.
Drink and pop. Soda.
Yep.
Okay, I covered all the answers.
Yeah.
George Floyd had to be there. Derek Chauvin wasn't even supposed to work that day. And something called him into work. And he had to be there. You lined all those quasars up. And what we created was the biggest movement that has ever existed in anybody's lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Because George was used as that sacrificial lamb.
Yeah.
Because he was a good dude, man. He was crazy. He was just like me. When you look at him, you look at me because laughing, joking, and I'm going to back up a second. I sold vacuums for 25 years, Anthony, in the states that had the less diversity as far as black people.
Mm-hmm.
And I would do home shows, maybe 40 a year, and I would have a Caucasian person sit at the booth because if I sat at the booth, Anthony, guess what they would do? They'd keep walking because they didn't want to
Wow.
run a chance of having a black dude in their house.
Yep.
So I literally set a white person at my booth for 20 years, and they would register the people for the leads. I'd show up at their house. Every employee that I've ever had for 20 years was sick. I'd show up at their house. Hey man, how you doing, Ted? I'm Selwyn Jones. I'm here today. Oh, Sarah's baby had a headache and she had to stay home. But since I'm in the neighborhood, so I thought I would just stop, and do this.
Okay.
Do this so Sarah could get the money.
Yep.
Anthony, I'm a bad man, son. I used to go into houses and I would be like, hey, man, did you ever think you have a black dude cleaning your house in 2015? I think my lifetime average, Anthony, is probably, I don't know, 85, 90% closing. Because if I could see your teeth and make you smile, I got a fork in you.
Gotcha.
You're done.
Yep.
Anthony, I wouldn't go on a house and sell a vacuum cleaner for $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
Because what I did is I acted like a whiteface, a buffoon, to use humor so I could get paid.
Mm.
And I look at that. And you got to do what you got to do. But I look at that. And I think, wow, man, the things that we had to do to survive in this world. And it never dawned on me.
Yeah.
And then it dawned on me, wow. So I didn't sell myself short. What I did is I put my family in a situation so baby's college is paid for.
Yep.
7,000 square foot house I live in is paid for.
Mm-hmm.
My motel's paid for. That new Anthony, God bless her, so I love her. I love my wife, man. We got the new Denali. She wrecked it.
Oh, man.
Here. All the airbags went off. Oh, no, Anthony. Don't feel bad. She got that 2022 Navigator.
Okay.
Oh, son, hot. But the point I'm trying to say is this, my brother, is I literally come from poo-poo
Yeah.
to that dude that you can say, hey, man, you did all right, you ugly rascal.
I want to give you the last word, and I want a couple things. I want you to tell the audience how they can connect with you, to go on this journey with you. But I also want to give you the last word and just tell our audience what you want to tell them. Whatever you want to say, the floor is open for you. Say whatever you want to say, and then just give them some contact information as well.
Okay. Selwyn Jones, Justice for George, Facebook, Instagram, all those other gizmos. Justice for George 846. Email justiceforgeorge846@gmail.com. It ain't hard. Google Uncle Selwyn. Google George Floyd's uncle. Bam, you'll see this pretty face. We have got to believe that we can make a difference from every word that we speak. Because you can't take words back. So the words that we put out, let's make them positive. Let's make them things that people want to hear. Let's make them things that people want to do. Because everybody has a similarity in their life with others. We just got to make a difference. And come on this magic carpet ride, because one day we're going to have a block party.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be there. And I'm going to eat some ribs. And I'm going to be really like that country boy. I ain't going to use on that because, Anthony, you ever been down south?
Oh, yeah.
Every black person in the cookout, one sleeve is greasy. You go to the other pet people's cookouts and they're
Yeah.
They ain't enjoying their food, Anthony.
Exactly.
Kids, thank you for giving Uncle an opportunity to enlighten your Sunday. And I honestly hope that there's something that you caught a grasp from this conversation, because I'm pivoting. I'm not in doom and gloom anymore, but reality is doom and gloom is the reason why we're here.
This is true.
So it gave us an opportunity to be able to move ahead.
Yep.
And my brother, like I said, man, I appreciate you. You are One Dapper Dan. See, look, I wore my smart boy glasses because I seen you with yours on.
Ah.
Don't look the same. Don't look the same. But man, hey, wait. There you go. My brother, we got to do this again.
Yes.
One day soon.
Yep.
And I appreciate you, my man. 100 grand. Thank you. And let's just all care about each other. Treat people the way that you want to be treated.
Yes.
I promise you, man, if you treat people the way you want to be treated, none of these things happen.
This is true.
Caring, empathy. We could go on all day long, and it all boils down to, how do you feel?
Exactly.
How do you feel? You have to be real to yourself. Because the only person you can't lie to, Anthony, is yourself.
That's true.
It's just like when my wife come in here, I'm going to tell her, you know you spilt that stuff all over your stuff. It won't me. She's going to beat me, man. Anyhow, but, oh, my Lordy, Anthony. But, like I said, man, I appreciate you. And just know, y'all, you know, if I ain't hard to get along, I ain't hard to get up with. You know, think about it. Everybody say black folk looks the same. How many black folks you ever seen look like me? Dial 911, the black dude in South Dakota with freckles. I'll be right there.
There you go.
God
All right.
bless you, my brother. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much for coming on the Media and Society, Mr. Selwyn. Really appreciate you, and I'm sure the audience is going to get a lot out of what you've been talking about. If you want to get in touch with the Media and Society, contact us at the Media and Society, and on YouTube you can just reach out, the Media and Society. Thank you so much, and we're out.